Is that Diana? There's no way it could be her. There were numerous occasions when Diana's admirers struggled to accept her due to her unconventional fashion sense. It's true that Diana was a source of pride for the British royal family, but at times her behavior led to considerable embarrassment. Queen Elizabeth II and the royal family often found Diana's controversial appearance unsettling, a sentiment that may resonate when you see her inappropriate attire in this video. Diana's first controversial image had to do with her weird rock-style overalls. At a polo match in Windsor Great Park, instead of adhering to the traditional and conservative attire expected of someone in her position, Diana opted for a pair of pastel yellow overalls paired with a coordinated top. This casual yet stylish ensemble was completed with wedges and sunglasses perched atop her head, precisely where her tiaras would later sit. To the untrained eye, Diana's choice might seem trivial. However, it was a bold statement against the established royal dress protocols. According to Cosmopolitan, Queen Elizabeth II has a marked preference for dresses and skirts over trousers for royal women. This preference has been clearly communicated to subsequent members of the royal family, including Kate Middleton and Meghan Markle, who have often adhered to these sartorial guidelines. By wearing overalls, Diana was not just selecting a casual outfit, she was making a subtle yet powerful statement about her individuality and willingness to defy convention. Furthermore, Diana's choice of footwear did not align with royal expectations either. As reported by Cosmopolitan, Queen Elizabeth II is known to dislike wedges, a sentiment well understood among the royal women. A source revealed to Vanity Fair, "The Queen isn't a fan of wedged shoes. She really doesn't like them, and it's well known among the women in the family." By pairing her outfit with wedges, Diana once again demonstrated her readiness to chart her own path, irrespective of royal preferences. The beginning of Diana's fashion-related controversies has made many people feel itchy every time they see her. Among her notable casual ensembles, one particular sweatshirt stands out for its boldness and patriotic flair. The USA sweatshirt adorned with the American flag, a garment that not only reflected Diana's personal style, but also challenged traditional royal protocols in a subtle yet significant way. Diana's choice to wear a sweatshirt proudly displaying USA and the American flag was a departure from the typical attire seen among members of the royal family, who often adhere to more subdued and conservative fashion choices, especially during official engagements and public appearances. As noted by Cosmopolitan, royals typically show patriotism through subtle nods, such as wearing accessories or colors associated with a particular country, rather than overtly sporting national symbols like flags on clothing. For Diana, however, fashion was a means of expressing her individuality and connecting with people on a personal level. Her decision to wear the USA sweatshirt showcased her casual yet confident approach to style, embracing a piece of clothing that resonated with Americana while conveying a sense of warmth and approachability that endeared her to people around the world. Despite the unconventional nature of her outfit choices at times, Diana's fashion sense consistently captivated the public's imagination and earned her admiration for her willingness to break from tradition while maintaining elegance and grace. Her ability to effortlessly blend high fashion with everyday casual wear, including sweatshirts featuring memorable designs like the Harvard logo and the Atlantic pullover, demonstrated her versatility and keen eye for style. The USA sweatshirt, in particular, became a symbol of Diana's unorthodox approach to royal dressing and garnered significant attention in fashion circles. People were not only charmed by Diana's choice of attire, but also fascinated by the stories behind her wardrobe pieces, leading to high demand and considerable value for items from her personal collection. According to People, similar sweatshirts from Diana's wardrobe were expected to fetch prices upwards of $10,000 at auctions, highlighting the enduring appeal and investment-worthy nature of her fashion legacy. Another particularly memorable moment occurred in 1982 when Diana attended an event at Covent Garden. For this occasion, she chose a glittery chiffon gown by designer Belleville Sassoon, a choice that was as stunning as it was unconventional for a royal, as reported by the Daily Mail. The gown, characterized by its delicate fabric and glittering embellishments, was a visual feast. However, what truly set it apart was its design, a spaghetti-strap gown that left Diana's shoulders bare. This was a stark departure from the modest fashion traditionally favored by royal women, who were expected to cover up and maintain a demure appearance. Modesty had always been a cornerstone of royal attire, with dresses typically featuring sleeves or at least broader straps to cover the shoulders and upper arms. Diana's decision to wear such a revealing dress was a bold statement. It showcased her willingness to break free from the constraints of royal expectations and express her individuality. The spaghetti strap gown was not just a fashion choice, it was a declaration of her personal style and her desire to push the boundaries of what was considered acceptable for a royal woman. By showing every inch of her shoulders, Diana was signaling that she was not afraid to challenge the status quo and embrace a more modern, glamorous aesthetic. Belleville Sassoon, the designer behind the gown, became a significant figure in Diana's fashion journey. As noted by the Daily Mail, Sassoon went on to create more than 70 dresses for Diana over a span of 2 decades. His understanding of Diana's vision and his ability to translate it into stunning designs played a crucial role in shaping her iconic style. Sassoon's creations often blended elegance with a touch of daring, perfectly reflecting Diana's personality and her approach to fashion. Despite Diana's influence and the evolving fashion landscape, the modest royal protocol she challenged remains largely intact. Subsequent royal women like Meghan Markle have continued to face scrutiny and criticism for their fashion choices. Markle, in particular, has been criticized for outfits that some perceive as too revealing by royal standards. Her choice to wear dresses with open shoulders or higher hemlines has sparked debates about the appropriateness of such styles within the royal family. Princess Diana Spencer also made waves during her 1985 visit to Melbourne with a bold and controversial outfit that challenged traditional royal dress codes. Instead of opting for the expected pencil skirt or demure ball gown, Diana chose a striking backless metallic dress designed by Bruce Oldfield, as reported by the Daily Mail. This choice was not just a fashion statement, it was a declaration of her individuality and a departure from the conservative norms that typically governed royal attire. The dress epitomized the glamour and excess of the 1980s, with its metallic sheen and bold shoulder pads, a style emblematic of the era's fashion trends. Diana's willingness to embrace such a daring look underscored her evolving confidence and her growing influence as a global fashion icon. However, while her fashion choices resonated with the public and the fashion world, they often raised eyebrows within the more traditional confines of the royal establishment. Indeed, members of the royal institution were reportedly not enthusiastic about Diana's avant-garde style. The introduction of stricter dress codes for royal events, such as the Royal Ascot, in subsequent years reflected a concerted effort to uphold more conservative standards. According to the Daily Mail in 2012, these new rules prohibited backless dresses, bare shoulders, and short hemlines. The guidelines mandated that hats with a diameter of 4 inches or more were mandatory, skirts must sit no higher than just above the knee, and dresses with strapless, off-the-shoulder halter neck or narrow straps less than an inch wide were deemed unacceptable. Diana's boldness is depicted as getting worse when she stuns in an off-the-shoulder dress during a trip to Brazil in 1991. As reported by Insider, the gown designed by Catherine Walker featured a striking one-shoulder neckline, a bold choice that was considered highly unconventional for a royal at the time. In classic 1990s fashion, the dress boasted a sleek column silhouette, adorned with a floral beaded design, accentuating Diana's figure in a way that was both sophisticated and daring. The exposed shoulder was a departure from the modesty typically associated with royal attire, marking a significant departure from traditional royal norms. Diana's decision to wear such a revealing gown underscored her confidence and her desire to express herself through fashion. The gown not only showcased her impeccable taste, but also highlighted her willingness to challenge the established protocols that governed royal wardrobe choices. By embracing a more contemporary and sensual style, Diana captivated the public and cemented her status as a trailblazer in the world of royal fashion. The Catherine Walker gown worn in Brazil remains one of the most memorable outfits associated with Diana, symbolizing her ability to blend grace with a touch of rebellion. The dress's daring neckline and figure-hugging silhouette captured the imagination of fashion enthusiasts and set a precedent for future generations of royal women. However, Diana's daring fashion choices often drew scrutiny and controversy within the conservative confines of the royal family. The exposure of shoulders, in particular, has historically been a contentious issue. Despite the evolving norms of fashion and society, the royal family has maintained a preference for modesty and discretion in attire, especially during official engagements. The contrast between Diana's bold fashion statements and the more traditional expectations of royal decorum is evident in the reaction to Meghan Markle's choice of attire. In 2018, Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, wore an off-the-shoulder dress to the Trooping the Color ceremony, an event steeped in centuries-old tradition. This decision sparked intense criticism and debate, with some questioning the appropriateness of such a modern neckline for a royal occasion, as noted by People. To deal with sensitive moments, Princess Diana used this trick to cover up what could have been an inappropriate mistake. One of Diana's signature style choices was her penchant for dresses with hemlines that were above the knee, a departure from the conservative lengths expected of royal women at the time. This bold move not only showcased her toned legs, but also challenged the perception of royal attire as staid and overly formal. Her choice of shorter hemlines was a deliberate statement of modernity and youthfulness, aligning her with contemporary fashion trends and capturing the imaginations of fashion enthusiasts worldwide. In addition to hemlines, Diana also pushed boundaries with daring necklines that were considered scandalous by royal standards. She often opted for off-the-shoulder designs or plunging necklines, which accentuated her graceful neckline and shoulders while defying the more modest norms traditionally upheld within the royal family. These choices were not merely sartorial. They were statements of independence and a rejection of outdated conventions that sought to confine royal women to a narrow definition of propriety. Another aspect of Diana's revolutionary approach to fashion was her aversion to pantyhose, a staple of royal dress etiquette. While it was customary for royal women to wear pantyhose to formal events to maintain a polished appearance, Diana occasionally chose to forego them, particularly during warmer weather or for less formal occasions. This departure from tradition highlighted her desire to remain comfortable and authentic in her public appearances, even at the expense of adhering strictly to established dress codes. Beyond her fashion choices themselves, Diana employed ingenious strategies to navigate the challenges of paparazzi and public scrutiny. One such tactic, famously coined by her handbag designer Anya Hindmarch, was the use of clutches as cleavage bags. These small satin clutches served a dual purpose, not only as stylish accessories, but also as shields to protect her modesty when exiting vehicles. Hindmarch recounted how Diana cleverly positioned her clutch bags strategically to maintain her dignity and privacy in the face of relentless media attention. This practical yet elegant solution became synonymous with Diana's savvy approach to managing her public image while remaining true to herself. There is a truth: when people think of royal women, they often picture a vision of femininity, elegance, and the quintessential sparkly crowns. However, Princess Diana Spencer refused to be confined by these traditional and narrow expectations of what a royal woman should be or wear. She made this abundantly clear in 1984, a year that marked a significant turning point in her personal style and the broader perception of royal fashion. In a bold and memorable move, Diana chose to wear a tuxedo suit while attending a Genesis concert, as noted by the Daily Mail. This choice was as groundbreaking as it was unconventional for a member of the royal family. The tuxedo suit, typically reserved for men, was a stark departure from the frilly, voluminous dresses that Diana had been known to wear in her early years as a princess. This sartorial decision was not just about fashion. It was a statement of independence and a rejection of the rigid norms that had long dictated royal women's attire. The mid-1980s marked a significant transition in Diana's wardrobe. She moved away from the traditional, frilly dresses that emphasized volume and romanticism, opting instead for sleek, form-fitting designs that were as body-conscious as they were defiant of royal expectations. This evolution in her style mirrored her growing confidence and her desire to carve out her own identity within the constraints of royal life. Diana's preference for streamlined, modern silhouettes reflected a broader cultural shift towards power dressing in the 1980s, where women in the public eye began to embrace clothing that exuded strength and independence. Her choice to wear a tuxedo suit to a rock concert was a perfect example of this trend. It showcased her ability to blend sophistication with a touch of rebellion, capturing the attention and admiration of fashion enthusiasts and the general public alike. Diana's trailblazing approach to fashion paved the way for future generations of royal women to explore and express their individuality through their clothing choices. Meghan Markle, for instance, has often been spotted in similar ensembles, defying the traditional royal dress code. As noted by Cosmopolitan, Markle wore a sleek Givenchy blazer and trouser combination during a trip to Ireland and has made several formal appearances in pants. These choices echo Diana's earlier defiance and demonstrate the lasting impact of her style evolution. We all know that Princess Diana Spencer was known for her ability to defy expectations and rewrite the rules of royal fashion, even in the most casual of settings. One memorable instance of her sartorial rebellion occurred when she chose to wear light blue denim overalls to a polo match, a decision that raised eyebrows and challenged traditional norms of royal attire. As noted by Pop Sugar, Diana's choice of outfit was as practical as it was unconventional. She paired the denim overalls with a simple white button-down shirt and loafers, presenting a look that was refreshingly down-to-earth and relatable. While polo matches typically served as gatherings of the royal elite, where formal attire and impeccable grooming were the norm, Diana opted for comfort and functionality over conformity. The significance of Diana's outfit lay not only in its casual nature, but also in its departure from established royal dress codes. The royal family, under Queen Elizabeth II's influence, had long adhered to strict guidelines that favored dresses and skirts for royal women, while denim and trousers were generally considered inappropriate for formal events. By wearing overalls, Diana not only challenged these sartorial conventions, but also asserted her own sense of style and independence. Moreover, Diana's choice of overalls highlighted her role as a modern royal who was unafraid to break with tradition and embrace a more relaxed approach to dressing. Her outfit resonated with many as a symbol of authenticity and approachability, qualities that endeared her to the public and set her apart from previous generations of royals. Years later, Diana's influence on royal fashion continued to be felt, particularly through her sons and their wives. Comparisons between Diana's casual attire and the more formal choices of Kate Middleton, Duchess of Cambridge, illustrate the evolution of royal style over the decades. Despite the demands of royal protocol, Diana's sons and their spouses have sought to strike a balance between tradition and modernity in their own fashion choices. For instance, Kate Middleton's attire at polo matches often reflects a blend of elegance and practicality. While attending such events, she has been seen wearing dresses from luxury designers like L.K. Bennett, paired with heels, a far cry from Diana's denim overalls, but still indicative of a modern approach to royal dressing that incorporates elements of both tradition and personal style. When talking about Diana's fashion outside of the royal family, you may change your view of her. One of Diana's iconic casual looks, as noted by Livingly, involved pairing pants with cowboy boots and a baseball cap, a combination that defied traditional royal dress codes but epitomized her laid-back approach to fashion. This ensemble not only reflected Diana's personal taste, but also underscored her ability to connect with people from all walks of life through her relatable style choices. A standout moment in Diana's casual wardrobe was captured by Insider in 1989 when she was spotted dropping off her sons at school. On this occasion, Diana sported what can only be described as a quintessential mismatched mom outfit: a sweatshirt, sweatpants, cowboy boots, a blazer, and a baseball cap. To many observers, this combination might have seemed haphazard or unconventional for a princess. Yet Diana effortlessly combined these elements to create a look that was both practical for her role as a hands-on mother and undeniably chic in its own right. What set Diana apart was not just the individual pieces she wore, but the way she wore them, with confidence and authenticity. Her ability to mix high and low fashion elements, such as pairing casual sweatpants with a structured blazer, demonstrated her innate sense of style and her willingness to challenge rigid fashion norms within the royal family. Have you heard about Diana's famous revenge dress? Clad in a striking, form-fitted black chiffon dress that elegantly skimmed her knees at the Serpentine Gallery Gala in 1994, Diana captivated the world with her poise and elegance, despite the tumultuous circumstances surrounding her private life. Diana's choice of attire that evening was not merely about making a fashion statement. It was a deliberate act of defiance and empowerment in the face of public adversity. Earlier on the same day, Prince Charles had made a startling admission of infidelity in a televised interview, a revelation that sent shockwaves through the royal family and the global media. The emotional impact of this confession on Diana cannot be overstated. To hear such deeply personal revelations aired publicly would have been profoundly distressing for any individual, let alone a member of the royal family scrutinized by the entire world. As Michelle Tauber, People's senior editor, pointed out, Diana's response to this devastating disclosure was nothing short of remarkable. Instead of retreating from public view or seeking refuge from the relentless media attention, Diana chose to confront the situation head-on by attending the Serpentine Gallery Gala that evening. It was a calculated decision that spoke volumes about her courage, resilience, and determination not to be defined by the personal hardships she faced. Besides, Princess Diana broke many etiquette with this dress in 1995, you should know. The Serpentine Gallery Galas were not just events for Princess Diana Spencer. They were stages where she asserted her unique style and challenged the conventions of royal fashion with daring outfits that captured the world's attention. In 1995, Diana made headlines once again with a stunning powder blue dress that defied numerous royal protocols, marking a bold departure from the expected norms of royal attire. The dress Diana chose for the occasion was a masterpiece of design and audacity. Crafted from a luxurious powder blue fabric, it featured a daring, plunging halter neckline that showcased her décolletage and shoulders, a departure from the modest necklines traditionally favored by royal women. The gown's silhouette further courted controversy with its short hemline and squared-off backless design, revealing more skin than what was deemed appropriate within royal circles. To complement her ensemble, Diana carried a small silver clutch and accessorized with drop-down earrings and a delicate bracelet, enhancing the overall elegance and sophistication of her look. Each accessory was meticulously chosen to harmonize with the dress, while adding a touch of glamour that highlighted her innate sense of style. However, what truly set Diana's attire apart and sparked intense debate was not just its aesthetic appeal, but its brazen departure from established royal protocols. First and foremost, the dress's short hemline was considered far too revealing for a member of the royal family, where modesty in dress length has long been upheld as a hallmark of decorum. Additionally, the plunging neckline was a stark contrast to the more demure and covered-up styles typically favored by royal women, reflecting Diana's willingness to challenge traditional expectations. Another notable deviation from royal protocol was Diana's decision not to wear pantyhose, an almost sacrosanct tradition among royal women. The royal dress code dictates that pantyhose should be worn for formal engagements, yet Diana's bare legs that evening emphasized her determination to assert her independence and individuality, even in matters as seemingly trivial as hosiery. Princess Diana Spencer's influence on royal fashion extended beyond clothing to include her daring approach to jewelry, where she defied traditional protocols and transformed the way royal accessories were perceived and worn. One of the most iconic examples of Diana's fearless attitude towards jewelry occurred with a diamond and emerald choker loaned to her by Queen Elizabeth II, as reported by People. The choker featured the esteemed Cambridge emeralds and had been crafted by Queen Mary, imbuing it with a rich history and significant royal heritage. Normally reserved for formal occasions and rarely worn by Queen Elizabeth herself, the choker became a staple in Diana's wardrobe during her marriage to Prince Charles. However, Diana's boldness did not stop at merely wearing the choker conventionally around her neck. In a move that sparked both intrigue and controversy, Diana repurposed the choker by wearing it as a headband, an unconventional and unexpected twist on how royal jewelry was traditionally worn. This innovative styling choice showcased Diana's penchant for experimentation and her willingness to push the boundaries of established norms within the royal family. The act of wearing the choker as a headband was more than just a fashion statement. It was a statement of independence and individuality. Diana's decision to reinterpret the jewelry piece demonstrated her desire to inject personal flair into her public appearances, thereby endearing her to the public and captivating the world's attention. However, Diana's unconventional use of royal jewelry was not without its repercussions. The royal family, steeped in centuries-old traditions and protocols, typically adheres to strict guidelines regarding the appropriate use of jewelry. For instance, diamonds are traditionally reserved for evening events, and tiaras are typically only worn by married royal women at formal occasions. What do you think about Diana's controversial outfits? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.